Yo, what up guys, Calvin here, and today we're gonna be looking at what was the most shocking thing that happened in school. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and yeah, let's get right in with the show. There was a huge 16 scandal where a handful of girls' images were being sent around. Well, when the school caught wind of it, they did the only thing a school could do. They held an assembly, girls in the auditorium and boys in the gym. After an hour or so of "you shouldn't do that," they had the district attorney come in to talk about the legality of underage 16. One of the seniors stood up and asked him if it was legal if they were over 8. He said yes, and the entire place went nuts. Everyone was cheering, clapping, and laughing. The principal walked over to the mic and said, "Who asked that?" The guy stood up again and triumphantly said, "Zane Master Steve." The audience once again erupted with cheers as he called into the principal's office. "Steve, you the man, okay? You got some brave guts, okay, to stand up and ask that question." My first day of high school, I was starting at a whole new neighborhood from moving and knew no one, so I kept to myself. I didn't handle crowds all too well, but I mustered the courage to get out of bed and get ready for school. I ran downstairs and talked to my dad about what I expected to get out of the day and ate breakfast. I walked out to the corner to catch the school bus, and that was awful. Nowhere to sit as everyone felt they had their own seat. Story short, I made it to school. As soon as we made it to the school, I started walking to my locker. There were so many people, I was about to lose my mind, and I asked myself if it could go any worse. It did. A girl bumped me from behind to get ahead to catch up with someone. In one swift action, she ripped off her backpack and unzipped it to pull out a kitchen knife to stab the girl directly in front of me right in the back. I froze. I couldn't breathe. I felt dizzy. I turned around and walked straight home. I live about 10 miles away. I just kept walking. I never looked back. I just wanted to make it home, crawl upstairs, and sleep in. I totally understand you. That is just crazy. You just witnessed a murdering right in front of you, okay? I bet your body was just shocked. A friend of mine was 13 when she was groomed by our history teacher. She would linger after the school day and meet him in his classroom where they would make out. It lasted about a year. He had his Hotmail account open on his classroom computer one day, and she was waiting for him, and she saw that he was emailing a handful of other girls at the school. She testified against him about 6 years later. He was later struck off, taught at the school for a long time, married one of the English teachers who supported him during his court hearing. Man, that is just disgusting. You know, a teacher is having a relationship with a 13-year-old. A 6th grade, a girl left school crying and never came back. I didn't know what was happening at the time, but it turned out the girl had been pregnant, and the two girls who knew her friend had told everyone about it. Now this happened in Bhutan in the mid-2000s, so not everyone in the 6th grade was 11 years old. This girl was about 15 to 16 at the time. Her friends were the same age. I was 11 and I knew the girl. She would treat me like a younger brother, picking me up from school on her way to school and dropping me off in the evening. This image of her using the hem of her tackle like a blazer for girls to wipe her tears as she walked away is burned into my eyes. Every time I see the specific green shade of our school uniform, I think of her. She came from a poor family, and I guess they made a little money through an informal bed and breakfast. The man who raped this little girl was a taxi driver. Our English teacher knew she was pregnant, and the plan had been to have the girl deliver the baby during the summer break discreetly. But the girl's friend could not keep their mouth shut. I never heard from her again. I have asked about her, and the only thing I have heard in the last few years is that she eventually did go back to school. So now you know, always gotta keep all your secrets to yourself, okay? That's the best thing to do. I just feel really bad for that girl, you know? She got raped by a taxi driver. It's not even her fault. My 7th grade English teacher used to have an anger problem. Granted, I went to a bad school in a bad neighborhood, but he still got angry over nothing. He used to threaten to throw desks if we misbehaved too much. One time, this dude was yelling at a student and slapped the ruler down on the table. It broke in half and splinters flew everywhere. Everybody at some point of their life have at least one angry teacher. Who was it? Leave it in the comment section below. I told this story before, but a kid in my brother's Catholic high school put a matchbook under my brother's belt at the base of his back and lit it on fire, as a prank I guess, causing a pretty severe burn. His coach saw it and assumed the worst, abuse, and had my parents call in. After they threatened my dad with child abuse, my brother finally told them what happened and they were going to expel the kid who did it. My dad went to the bat for the kid and said it was a stupid mistake and that the right education would assure that this will never happen again. The kid got to stay in school based only on what my dad said. 2 weeks after this, my brother got caught outside a school dance with a bottle and James wine cooler and was going to be expelled. They called my dad in again and told them they were expelling my brother, and my dad flipped out. I convinced you to kick a boy that set my son on fire in this school, and you are going to kick my son out for drinking a wine cooler? What the heck is wrong with you? My brother got to stay in school because my father was incredibly large and intimidating, and you know it was bull crap. Good thing you got a dad that was a good negotiator, okay? A bunch of guys were playing basketball in the court outside. I don't know how to describe it cause English isn't my first language, but basically one of the guys were hanging on the thing that you shoot the ball and it broke. So he's talking about the basketball net that he is hanging on. The guy hit his head on the ground. He died instantly. Thank God I didn't witness that. Otherwise, I would have been able to handle it. He died for hanging on a basketball net. That's just crazy. A student was arrested when there was information on how to build a bomb in his computer. He seemed like a nice kid. Why would you Google search how to build a bomb at school? That is just no-brainer. A popular football athlete killed his pregnant cheerleader ex-girlfriend. I made that sound terrible, but it is true. I was friends with both of them, not to mention they were really well liked. The school took sides, grief counselors everywhere, fights happened, memorials were put up, and more. We were a small town in Indiana, and the murder put us on the map for all the wrong reasons since it made national headlines. School has never been the same, and my trust has taken a huge toll. Was talking to my friend about it, and we both agreed that since then it would be hard to trust anyone. It was such a sucky blow that I will miss her and I will feel weird about him forever. Almost crazy to think that could have been my best friend because early last year, before the murder 11 months later, her and the football player were talking. I guarantee that if you search out high school football player kills girlfriend Indiana or something like that, you can find the article just about anywhere. Oh, that is just terrible. There is just no reason to kill someone over something, okay? No reason to kill someone. A boy slipped on some ice and got run over by a school bus when I was in 2nd grade in front of the whole school. Miraculously, he survived and is doing well to this day. Wow, you are so lucky. Got hit by a bus and you still survived. Probably like 5th grade. Obviously, nobody fully understood what sex was, but a group of guys used to go into the bathroom and pay each other $5 to $20 to blow each other. They got caught eventually. They took the door off all the boys' bathroom, and they could only pitch one in the bathroom at a time. Fast forward to 7th grade. A dude waits in the bathroom and begs several guys to blow him. Oh my goodness, that sounds so wrong. It doesn't suck me much because it was that crazy, but because how uncrazy we thought it was at that time. When I was 11 or 12, and AIM or MSN were huge. There was a dummy account who suddenly started messaging a few of us with hunting messages, telling us we were on their list. A couple other kids who weren't told that they were on the list tried messaging whoever it was and asking basically what that means. They gave variation on their time is running out or clock's ticking. Within a week or so, it started escalating offline. We found photos of us printed off and left around the school with red X's drawn over our faces. Some of us had X's scratched on our lockers. One girl found a dead rat in her locker. Another guy had a chalk X on his home front door. And the wildest thing is nobody ever said anything. We laughed it off as a so weird thing. It wasn't until recently that a friend and I were talking about it in retrospect that I realized how effed it was. But that is some bad movie script set up for a school shooting and we didn't say anything. The girl who found the rat had a friend get it out for her. The guy at home washed off the X before his parents got home and nothing ever happened. The messages started dying out and that was the end of it. But if my little sister told me today that it happened to her, I probably want nothing less for them to fully investigate it and have her stay home from school until it is resolved. Yes, I will probably just stay home or something. That just sounds super creepy. A boy at my school tried to kill himself in the boys' bathroom by slipping his wrist. But it was luckily saved by a student skipping class, and I remember always seeing him around school, and he always seemed to make everyone laugh and smile, and always seems happy. Sometimes the happiest people are the ones going through the most. Man, that is just really sad. Is it because the school environment is just too stressful for you? That's why you wanna take your own life or something? I don't know, man, it's very complicated. The cheerleaders were selling sweatshirts for a fundraiser. One of them asked the teacher if he wanted to buy one. The teacher looked her dead in the eye and said, "I'll give you $50 for the one you're wearing right now." Needless to say, that was his last day as a teacher. That was almost 25 years ago. I still can't comprehend how a grown man could throw his career away in a single sentence like that. That teacher might just be a pervert, okay? He just cannot control himself. Jeff jumped off the roof of a chapel into a dumpster filled with empty cardboard boxes. 50-foot drop, 8x8 dumpster. Edit: we are gathered here today to mount the end box of our Pete. Edit number 2, some background. Twice a week at our local school, the junior and senior guys were on a garbage recycling duty after lunch. We gathered all the garbage bags and recycling from the classroom and office. The building was a school attached to a church with office and a sort of a community center. It wasn't a huge building, but it was pretty big. We take all the garbage and trash out to the dumpster, which was set next to some sets behind the building. That is how it all started. Jeff jumped off a 10 to 12 foot set into a dumpster full of cardboard boxes. We laughed, rolled the dumpster out to where the garbage guy could get to it. Someone else rolled it back when the garbage was connected. One day, Jeff climbed to the backstop of the baseball field right near the dumpster. That was a 25 to 30 foot drop, I think. He made that one look easy. Then he dropped in from out of a tree that was probably about 40 feet. Finally, about a month from our graduation, he told us his plan. He had to break into the crawl space above the chapel, accessible by a padlocked trapdoor on the third floor of the classroom, then climb through the attic space of the chapel and into the roof. The chapel parking lot sloped sharply by 7 to 8 feet, which is where the 50-foot drop come in. We saved boxes for weeks, set them up in the dumpster, put it in the parking lot about 15 feet from the chapel wall, and watch him jump. Man, that is just so dangerous. Instead of the cardboard box, that would be super bad. At the school where I used to teach, the students told me that years ago, someone swapped the science teacher's Bill Nye video with a hardcore porn tape. According to legend, the teacher didn't notice for a quiet while, and the student watched several minutes of moot that day. I told my class that it was a stupid rumor, and I'm sure that never happened. When class was over, one of my students walked on and said, "Mr. Healthy Low Class, it is true. My brother was the one who switched the tape." That is pretty interesting. Imagine you just watching a science video and all of a sudden it turned into a porn video. So yeah guys, that's about the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on that bell notification so you know when I post new videos. And also make sure to follow me on Instagram, CalvinNeat1995. Link will be in the description below. And yeah, my name is Calvin and I see you guys next video.